Welcome to Guide to Points. Recently, my daughter and I gave my mother a birthday trip to New York City. Continue watching to see how we visited New York with 3 people for 3 days and 4 nights on points. For flights, I transferred 54,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points to Southwest for 2 round-trip tickets from Salt Lake City to LaGuardia in economy. I have the companion pass, so the third person flew free. We paid $33.60 in taxes and fees, and it would have cost $1,062, so the redemption value was 2.03 cents per point. And as I mentioned before, airport lounges are a great way to save money on your meals while you're traveling. Airport food can be so expensive. Salt Lake International Airport just got a new Centurion Lounge. So before we headed out on our flight, I had to try it out for breakfast. I used my American Express Business Platinum card to get in. Now you have to spend $75,000 annually on your card to get guest access. So unfortunately, I left my mom and daughter at our gate. But don't worry, I snuck out some cookies for them, so they were okay. It was really nice and worth abandoning my family for a bit. We also had a layover in Denver that we were not planning on. So the Capital One Lounge to the rescue. I got 2 guests in free with my Capital One Venture X business card, so we had a really good lunch there. And then on our way home from LaGuardia back to Salt Lake City, we used my Chase Sapphire Business Reserve card to get into the Chase Sapphire Lounge in LaGuardia to have some breakfast for free. You do have to show your priority pass to get into Chase Sapphire lounges as well. So make sure that you have that, which a lot of credit cards give you for free. The food wasn't as good as it was at the Chase Sapphire Lounge in JFK, but remember, free is free. We stayed at the Hyatt Centric Times Square. This is a great location. And we used 116,000 Chase points, which made it 29,000 points per night for 4 nights. We got 1 room for 3 people because it had 2 queen beds. The resort fees are waived for award stays. It would have cost $2,444. So that was a 2.11 cent per point redemption. This is a Category 6 hotel, as I mentioned. It doesn't have free breakfast unless you have globalist status with Hyatt, but it does have a market in the lobby that has a variety of food, so everyone can find something that they like for a reasonable price. Some of the activities that we were able to do for free was we saw a Broadway show, we saw Mamma Mia because of the mother-daughter trip. We used 56,782 Capital One points. It would have cost us $454 for the ticket, so that ended up being a 0.8 cents per point redemption. Usually a 1 cent to 1 point redemption is better, but when you're trying to get things for free, that's an okay redemption. We also saw the Rockettes Christmas Spectacular that we used 39,094 Capital One points for. That would have cost us $312, so that was also a 0.8 cent per point redemption. And then we saw the Statue of Liberty, the 9/11 Museum, and we went to the top of the rock. We used 28,560 Chase points for a bundle deal. It would have cost $357, so that was a 1.25 cents per point redemption. So that was a little better. And there are always things that you do need to pay money for, like some of your activities. We took an NBC studio tour and we went to the Met Museum. Of course, your food and your souvenirs will cost you some money, and transportation like buses and the subway, and of course your airport parking you will need to pay money for. So please take those things into account when you're planning your trip. Overall, we saved $4,630 for 3 people for 3 days and 4 nights in New York City. So not bad. Hope you enjoyed learning about how we took our birthday trip to New York City for nearly free. Now remember, your journey is not my journey. You might find better redemptions than I did. Remember, this is just a game and it's for fun. It's not a competition. Please keep watching my Instagram posts as well as my course videos on YouTube. You can access those by clicking on my link tree in my Instagram bio, or you can go to Guide to Points on YouTube. You can also use my links to sign up for your credit cards because that helps me on my points journey as well. Always remember that wherever your points take you, to enjoy the journey.